Politics is said to be a game of numbers, but politics is also a game of interest. These are parameters often used for political permutations in politics. In Nigeria, however, ethnic and religious considerations are often used by politicians as yardstick to determine electoral outcomes, a situation political analysts consider as a threat to electing credible leaders. Over the past week, several reactions have trailed the same faith ticket of the All Progressives Congress, while the APC flag bearer Bola Ahmed Tinubu has defended the decision of picking his running mate Kashim Shettima to be based on his competence. Some members of his party, among other Nigerians, have criticized this decision, which they describe as insensitive to the multi-religious nature of the country. What is the thin line between politics, ethnicity, and religion? This will be our focus on Dateline today. Welcome to the program. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. Now, joining me in the studio to discuss this is Yusuf Mamza, lawyer and political analyst, and also Hamza Muhammad, National Coordinator, Tinubu School to School Campaign. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, I mean, going by all the reactions that we have seen in the past, past week about the choice of the APC flag bearer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of reactions have trailed that decision. Do you think that this is unnecessary? Why are we seeing the kind of reactions that we are seeing, Hamza?
Sincerely, I want to appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to be here. Good evening all, and good evening to Nigerians. What is happening at the political environment today is basically confusions and deliberate attempts to question the authority of our candidate, in person of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't think our candidate intentionally neglect the Christian community. We are just doing this. We brought on board Kashim Shettima because we believe in the competency and his personality and what he has done in Borno State. And coupled to his experience in politics, and we believe that bringing him on board will give us a success ahead. Our strategy of winning election, we believe that bringing Kashim Shettima will be the best option for us, and that was why we felt the ticket for Asuwaju, Kashim Shettima is the best ticket at the moment. And coupled to the kind of situation that we find ourselves in the country and we find ourselves in the party, has given us that age to think of that alternative option, and that is the best option at the moment.
All right, well, Yusuf Mamza, you are a lawyer. There's been a lot of discussions as to whether there's a breach of law here or not. I mean, others have said clearly there's no requirement in the Constitution that says your running mate must be of same faith or not. So clearly there's no breach of law here. So, I mean, is this, what's your own take?
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here. And I want to thank Nigerians also for bringing this discussion so that we can discuss our nation. You see, before we go to any constitutionality or otherwise, to me, APC is just using this as a platform to distract Nigerians from their momentous failure. Because if you look at it recently, you will discover that even in the security, that they are boastful of trying to do something. Right here in Abuja, we could witness a terrible incident that our Kuje prison can be attacked, and no response from any responsible government, no security personnel who address the issue. So to me, and you look at the increase in fueling and all that, there's all that. So to me, I don't look at that as something that whether constitutional or not. They are very tacticians in the way they are trying to do their thing. They know that Nigerians religion is an issue to them. They know that Nigerians care about the state. So they have failed. They don't have a campaign strategy. They don't know what to say. Now what do? They bring sentiment, throw it to the people. As people are grappling with it, then they assume that people will forget about their failure. Now coming to the constitutionality of this matter, I don't know how people read the Constitution. But Section 1 tells you that the Constitution shall be binding on all persons, government, and institution. It didn't tell you some section of the Constitution. It said the Constitution. And if you look at Chapter 2 of the Constitution, what we call national objective, that is where everything about governance, I don't know what people mean by governance. Every party, your manifesto must reflect Chapter 2 of our Constitution. Because that is the national objective of every government.
But it didn't say that, it didn't bring in the issue of religion.
Section 14 of that Chapter 2, I am telling you, because there are a lot of things there. Education and all that is there. Section 14. Do you know what Chapter 14, Subchapter 3 said? It said, any government, or its agency, in its composition. What does it mean to compose something? That means when you are setting up your group or you're setting up your organization, it said you must do it in line with federal character. And that federal character must reflect a situation where it will compel a kind of motivation from the citizen.
But does the federal character talks about religion? There's no way that the federal
I have not finished that section.
Made reference to religion.
I have not finished that section. That section went further to say that no state or particular tribe or region should be dominant in the affairs of the government. And then he said of any other section. That section covers religion, covers any other section. It can be religion, it can be tribal, it can be anything. So there must be adherence to constitutional principle.
Okay, Hamza, your party have very senior lawyers, I'm sure, legal advisors and all of that. And I'm sure that they are fully aware of this. So is there any breach of law here?
I don't think so. If there was any, I think the party would have addressed that. Before the candidate would go to the choice of picking Kashim Shettima, I think he would have done all the needful by making sure that we didn't breach any law of the party or the country.
So, but going by this, section and, the considerations about, because the spirit, a lot of lawyers and other, political analysts have argued that the idea behind the section of the Constitution that talks about federal character is aimed at uniting the country, uniting the country. Are you concerned that this could lead to some kind of division? Even from within your party, we've seen that some have raised some kind of concern. To me, as my position, and I think is the general positions to so many Nigerians, the issue of this religion that we are taking too pessimistic in nature, I don't think we need to be pushing to that extent. Aswaju is coming from far away Lagos, and Kashim Shettima is from Borno. He picked him as a choice because he believed in his personality. But when we start putting religion into issues, we start creating, we're looking at competency. We're looking at how this country can move forward. We're looking at how a better service delivery can come on board, or things that can change the fortunes of Nigerians. We should not be deviating our attention politically and be taking it to religion. We are diverting so many attention of people. So, but there are those who have accused your party of, taking that decision of picking Kashim Shettima because they said it's a game of numbers, and they are looking at someone who can pull in the numbers, and they feel that fielding in a Christian northerner will not give them that number. So what would you say to that?
Absolutely. The choice of Kashim Shettima was because the party is not against the Christians. That's one of the things that people need to understand. The party is not against the Christians. But our strategy of winning election, that is just what we are trying to do. And we believe that bringing Kashim Shettima on board will give us that vote we're looking for. So the issue of saying Christianity, Islam, not the issue. The party is not against Christianity in totality. Even the candidate himself is not against the religion. We are just bringing Kashim Shettima because we believe that bringing him on board will give us votes. And we are looking at the target votes, the target direction of the votes.
Okay, so, well, let me throw this to Yusuf. Now, what's the implication of this on governance? So, for instance, there are those who've said, well, it doesn't really matter. We have, say, for instance, right now, Nigerians are dealing with issues of insecurity, and the president, his own home state in Katsina, has, received his own fair share of the insecurity issues that we are dealing with. So it clearly does not have any implication on governance, does it?
You see, time when somebody, talks about that religion is not a factor in our political system, I just laugh. Is it the same Nigeria where I'm in or that any other person is in or another? Now, this same candidate of APC went to Ogun State and told the whole world that it is the turn of the Yorubas. What is the meaning of that? That's tribal sentiment, right? So tribe can be an issue of discussion. That it matters that it must not be the turn of a Hausa Fulani again, but should be the turn of a Yoruba man. But then Christianity or religion should not be an issue. I mean, this same man, does he think Nigerians are stupid? You went to Ogun State and you are crying foul that Buhari want to deny you the ticket, and it is your turn, it is the turn of the Yorubas, and that you reminded Nigerians that you even told him that he shouldn't mess up with the Yorubas, not Nigeria. He can mess up with Nigeria, he can rule us the way he's ruling us, there can be insecurity, bandits can kidnap us. I mean, we can be paying ransom millions. That one is not an issue to you, but it is the turn of the Yorubas. Okay, so the Christians have no turn. This party is trying to distract Nigerians from the key issue. Thank God I'm a northerner.
Okay, so now, what do you say to those who said, well, the vice president being a Christian in the same government, we've seen a lot of pastors abducted, we've seen a lot of people across board, whether Christians or Muslims, they have to, also deal with this issue of insecurity. So clearly, it's not really about, the person, in office.
That is a very baseless and senseless argument. Governance is not limited to building structure or, just saying that I give you food, I provide water for you and all that. Governance means you take care of the emotion, the physical need, the psychological need, and even the mental need of the people. So long as your people feel marginalized, it is part of governance to bring them together. And we all know we are all from the north. Thank God my brother here is from the north. We know the religious crisis in the north. Nobody should pretend about it.
All right, well, Mahamza, are you concerned about the division in your party at the moment? We've seen massive resignations from different quarters. And then how this will affect the chances of the APC in the 2023 election?
APC we're all in a big family. Definitely there's going to be a reconciliation committee that will be set up by the party to reconcile whatever differences people have within the party. It's natural, things like that happen. Ideologies of people are different. People who come with different thinking and different ideology together. It's a party, so it's a party issue. The party leadership will take responsibility of addressing whatever needs that needed to be done.
Do you think that your party will succeed in that effort? Because
of course.
For some, it doesn't look like they are going to look back. Some have, their resignation, they've gone. And like if you take a look at Rivers State, for instance, there are concerns that some of the people that have, resigned from the party have made major contributions in the party. So, how do you think that this will affect the chances of the APC in 2023?
I have said it clearly that the party will call this, will set up a reconciliation committee to handle all these issues. It's a party affair. It's a party matter. So I think at this moment I won't say much on that, but because I believe the party leadership have all the necessary mechanisms around them to put all things right. It is a family matter, it's a family issue, so I think we should just keep it like that.
Okay, now how does Nigeria move away from this politics of ethnicity and religion? Because clearly it's affecting, the democratic trajectory of the country.
The whole of this primordial religious and ethnic centric is the failure of leadership. If we have fair and true leadership, nobody talks about religion. It is unfortunate that many young people don't read history. When Nigeria came into existence, from the beginning, there is these three major tribes that was a great challenge to all our founding fathers. So nobody should deceive himself and say that there was not a foundational division in Nigeria even as a nation. Do you understand now? So even Zeke, when he told Sardauna that we should forget about differences. No. Sardauna told him we should understand our differences. And I clap for him. You don't forget differences, you understand, you negotiate, you discuss frank issue. Then you now come to compromise. That is how we build a nation. You know why this thing is paining me? APC is the governing party in government. They are supposed to lead by example. They are supposed to unite our people. I was talking about that chapter 2, section 14. He said government must do things that will compel loyalty. An Igbo man will not be afraid to be Nigeria. A Yoruba man will be confident in Nigeria. A Hausa man will feel free in Nigeria. Somebody that is a Jukun man from Taraba State, or an Bachama man from Adamawa State, or what do you call it? Tangele man from what do you call that place? Gombe State should feel free among his brethren that he is a Nigerian, first of all. But because we have a failure of government, we have failed. Our leaders are very scheming in dividing us. Look at the political appointees of President Mohammed.
All right. Now, before we continue, we'll take a short breather now, and then when we come back, we'll continue. So just hold on your thoughts there. You're watching Dateline, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja. Please stay with us. All right, thank you for staying. If you are just joining, you're watching Dateline, reaching you from the nation's capital here in Abuja. I have in the studio Yusuf Mamza, lawyer and political analyst, and also Hamza Mohammed, national coordinator, Tinubu Shetima school-to-school campaign in the studio, talking about the same fifth ticket of the APC, talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shetima, former Borno State governor. Now, one of the reasons given by your party for its choice of picking Kashim Shetima is about issue of competency. We've heard arguments, by those who criticize this, saying that, if you are talking competence, are you saying that there are no competent people across other divides? Does it have to be a Muslim? So that's those are some of the arguments put forward. How do you respond to that?
Absolutely. Anyone who is looking at Kashim Shettima as somebody who has not performed, or somebody who is not in the best chance of taking the VP position, I think the person is just taking it the other way. Kashim Shettima, the party has, a lot of consultation has taken place. We went around consulting with different critical stakeholders of the party. So for the candidate to have taken decision of making a choice like this, I think it's not an argument.
So this consultation, how wide is this consultation? Because with the resignations that we are seeing, it doesn't look like that consultation was wide enough to accommodate, all members of the party.
But you should understand the nature and of how people think in life and how people act in life sometimes. Whatever decisions you are trying to do in life, sometimes people will still criticize it. No matter how you consult it, people will still criticize it. But the issue is, before the party will take the bull by the horn by making sure that they present somebody like Kashim Shettima, I think there is a wider consultation. But you don't expect the consultation to go to every individual. But there are critical stakeholders in the party, there are critical stakeholders outside the party, that some consultation must take place. But you don't expect the consultation. It's not going to be easy for the consultation to be individually, But there's a platform set up by the party in whatever hierarchy to consult. Before the candidate who have taken decisions to think of bringing Kashim Shettima, he would have consulted the president, he would have consulted the governors, he would have consulted the National Assembly, and also consult some of the party leaders in taking decisions.
All right. So, well, the decision has been made. Yusuf, and APC is not likely to change its decision. So what do you say? What's the way forward now here?
For me, as a Nigerian, as a northerner, if I tell you I'm not happy, I am being hypocritical. I want this party, for goodness sake, to be out of government. I'm speaking with all passion, because they have failed on every front. We are looking for even more excuse for them to leave us alone. I mean, Nigerians are tired of Buhari government and his APC party. So, to me, it's a fortune for Nigerians. I'm talking to my northern brothers. Don't fall into this cheap blackmail and political identity of trying because it's very, what do you call it? A Muslim ticket, and then somebody will tell you it's a jihad or so. It's a lie. It is never part of our system in North. You remember the northernization principle of Sardauna? Sardauna is a Muslim man, was a Fulani man. But Sardauna accepted every northerner as equal and one. I remember the story that Sule, the one in Kano that died, Maitama Sule, he made mention of it, and he lamented that this crop of politicians that are coming up in the north now are bastardizing the policy and the ideologies of Sardauna. He said a Christian from Niger State passed his WAEC, I think, with 5 credit or distinction. Sardauna drove to Niger, begged the guy to go to school, but the Catholic, school say no, he must be a priest and all that. He lamented, pleaded with them. They said no, he has to go. That is the kind of spirit our leaders were having. But today, our leaders have divided us, separated us, caused division among us, and created a forum where they will excuse themselves from responsibility.
Is that why we're seeing the kind of reactions that we're seeing? Because a lot of reference have been made to the 1993 election of Abiola and Kingibe, as a template that Nigerians should be going back to.
Nigerian cannot go back to that template now until we work on our leadership. And that's why I'm pleading with Nigerians, selecting and electing good leaders matters. Because nobody will actually care whether it is Buhari that is the president, or is it Jonathan that is the president, or is an Igbo man or a Yoruba man. If when he comes to power, he will not be a Fulani kind of leader, or an Igbo kind of leader, or a Yoruba kind of leader. And that is one of even my fear with this APC presidential candidate. He says the turn of the Yorubas. That means Nigeria will be a colony of the Yoruba people. To me, that can never be accepted. It's insensitivity to the feeling of other people. So we are going back to what you call the 1993, when our leaders begin to treat us equally, fairly, and they begin to work. Not just using sentiment, because I appointed somebody from your local government. Whether he eats money or not, that is all. We're talking about an ordinary or just an accountant general of a federation stealing over 80, okay, allegedly, over 80 billion. What does that mean?
Oh, okay.
Subsidy, we are talking about 4 trillion.
All right. Well,
no. Let's not bring this identity politics. I pray my northern brothers we understand these gimmicks can no longer work. Religion, we are not interested in religion.
We have to end this at this point. Well, thank you. Your final words, Hamza, on this.
My final words to Nigerians, we should stop this issue of religion. We're looking at competency, we're looking at service delivery, we're looking at leaders that can do by example. We should stop creating issues, making the whole media charged because of religion issues. The religion issue should not be a barrier or should not be a subject for us to be debating every day because we are looking at Muslim Christianity. What about people who are pagans? What about people who are Abalis? What would they say? Would they say it's their turn? No. We are looking at people who can come and change the fortune and people who can come and change the narrative. So why are we not making the whole system looking charged because we are bringing issue of religion in the issue? We should stop that. We are looking at candidates that can come and change the narrative. We are looking at competency and service delivery. So issues of religion should not be a subject of matter of discussion every day in the media, people making noise or making their suggestion, no, that should not be the issue. We should be looking at how this country can move forward.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on Dateline and sharing your perspectives with us on this issue.
I don't have much word.
Well, 1 minute then.
Yeah. My last word to Nigerians and particularly to my northern brothers, reject APC. And then any other party you're going to vote for, any candidate available, please interrogate them very well and make sure they are responsible to us. The days of bringing in people that will not be responsible is over.
All right.
The North need to grow.
All right.
We need to grow fast.
All right. Thank you so much, Yusuf Mamza, lawyer and political analyst, as well as Hamza Mohammed, National Coordinator, Tinubu Shetima School to School campaign. Thank you for joining us on Dateline.
Thank you.
Once again.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the program. You watch Dateline. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.